so it'll be a touchback. So the ball will come out to the 15-yard line, and that's where the East will set up shop for their opening offensive series. Your quarterback
for the East squad has been
Labertu.
He's a young man from Sylvan Grove High School. And they'll have the one lone back there. That will be Ivancho. And they show us a double wideout set this time. Labertu up in our center this time, going to roll out to the right side. Now lets it go. A little wobbly pass down there will be short and an incomplete pass. The intended receiver for the East squad that time was Kelly Wanzer, number 79. And back there in defense was number 53. That was Manny Holguin, a young man from Lewis High School. So it brings up a second down and 10 for the East. The ball again on the 15-yard line, and the opening offensive series here
of this 11th
annual
8-man
All-Star football game. Again, wideouts to the near side. As Labertu this time now wants to pass, lays it out here in the flat. It's caught, and Wanzer this time has picked up some extra yardage. He bounced out of bounds there by number 29, Darren Wine. So it was a pickup of 9 yards on the play. We'll set up a third down and 1. Let's take a little closer look at the play here from the ground level cam. And here again you see Labertu just throws it out there to the flat, and it was Wanzer who had the good moves out there on the sideline to pick up the extra yardage. Again, third down and 1. The ball is on the 24-yard line. And Labertu, your quarterback, brings him up to the line of scrimmage. Your lone back again is Nick Ivancho. And wideouts again here to the short side of the field. And here is Labertu on a quarterback sneak, and he picks up the initial yardage. The tackle was made by Matt Hurley for the West, and it brings the ball up to the 26-yard line. So it will be a 1st and 10 for the East. Hurley actually set it up on the 27-yard line. A 1st and 10 for the East squad here. Labertu again sets him down. Wideouts to both sides of the field this time. Again, Ivancho, your lone back, and in motion, Wanzer is going to the wide side of the field. Labertu off the keeper this time, and he's going to be stuffed right there at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle, number 53, Hogan and Wolf. No gain on the play as they really just got a hold of Labertu and stopped him in his tracks and threw him back. But nevertheless, no gain on the play. Brings up a 2nd down and 10 from the 27-yard line. East again on their first and opening offensive series. Wideouts again here to the wide side of the field. Double wideouts. The lone back, Ivancho. Labertu sets him down. This time, here's the pitch out to Ivancho coming around to the wide side of the field. He's going to be stopped there as Ivancho gets very little gain on the play. Possibly a pickup of 1. Again, it was Wolf and Hurley out there to make the stop on Nick Ivancho. That was his first carry of the ball game. Brings up a 3rd down and 9. So a good defensive play there by, matter of fact, 2 good defensive plays by the West squad here back to back. Going to need another one right now. 3rd down and 9 on the 28-yard line for the East. Wideouts to both sides this time. Labertu in the shotgun. Has a blocking back there. Now he takes a snap, drops straight back, and fires it out there in the flat. It's caught by Aaron Generu for the 1st and 10 out there near the 39-yard line, but in to make the stop was number 33, Weekamp for the West squad. It was Kurt Weekamp from South Gray High School, the 5'7", 170-pounder, to make the stop, but nevertheless, it was a pickup that time of 11 yards for the East, and a 1st and 10. The ball now out there on the East 39-yard line, just right at midfield. But a 1st and 10 for the East. Now again they show us wideouts here to the wide side of the field. The lone back again is Ivancho. Labertu goes up to the line of scrimmage. It looked for a moment that he might set up in the shotgun once again. There's the snap. Here's the pass again. Just lets it fly downfield. And it's caught. What a beautiful catch downfield by number 24, Aaron Cheney. A fabulous catch over the shoulder. And back there in defense was number 2, Matt Hurley. But nevertheless, a 17-yard pickup that time for the East squad and Aaron Cheney, but that was a beautifully laid out pass there by Labertu. Just looped it up in the air and dropped it right down in the hands of Aaron Cheney. 1st and 10, the ball now on the West squad 14-yard line, and a 1st and 10. The East on the move here. They have wideouts to the wide side of the field, to the left side. Now with the lone back, Ivancho again. Here's a handoff to Ivancho, straight up the gut. He breaks one tackle. There he's finally knocked down off a short gain, as it was Wolf and also in there on the stop, number 54 and number 55, but Ivancho picked up 3 yards on the carry, brings up a 2nd down and 7. The ball on the West 11-yard line. The East getting very close here to drawing first blood. 2 up under center. Again, Ivancho is your lone back there. Here's the cadence and the snap. Drops straight back. Now wants to, he rolls around. He's scrambling a little bit. Now drops a pass down inside the 5-yard line to Jason Basil, number 44, and he just went out of bounds, or could have just stepped into the end zone. Out there in coverage was Matt Hurley, number 2, but nevertheless it will bring up a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line for the East. But Jason Basil's the guy who was the recipient of that Labertu pass for a 7-yard gain. 1st and goal for the East. The East squad, as they arrive at the line of scrimmage, will split a receiver out here to the short side of the field. Babcock, your lone back. Labertu up under center. Now the quarterback sneaker right up the middle. And I believe they're going to say, is he over? And let's wait and get the word from the official. No, he did not make it. So short by just about a half a yard. Brings up 2nd down and goal. The tackle that time was made by Eric Uno, the young man from Otis Bison High School. And now here the East again. 2nd down and goal, just about a foot away. Lone back, split out here to the wide side. Cheney, there's again is Labertu off the quarterback sneak, and it's a touchdown for the East. They do draw first blood here in the early going of this first quarter. They take the drive 65 yards off of 12 plays and stick it into the end zone. Capped off by a quarterback sneak by Labertu. Ben Labertu, the young man from Sylvan Grove High School, a 6-foot, 175-pounder. And just stretched that 6-foot frame right into the end zone. He was pretty tough going on the last foot, but just got enough in. And, of course, the East going for the 2-point conversion here. One lone back, wide outs to both sides. Labertu up under center, calls the cadence. This time wants to roll out, rolls out, now drops it over the center, but it's going to be too high and too wide. It's incomplete. And out there in coverage for the West squad was Cheney, along with Cody McDowell. And, of course, the incomplete pass that time will lead the score at 6-0 here for the East, as they do get the first points on the board in this 11th annual 8-man All-Star game. And in just a moment or two, we'll get set here for the kickoff for the West for their opening offensive series. But the East squad really making a nice mix of plays, a lot of pass plays that time for Ben Labertu and the East squad taking it downfield. Teeing up the ball is David Robinette, number 97. And back deep for the West squad is number 2, Matt Hurley, along with number 33, Weekamp. Kurt Weekamp from South Gray.
Back deep for the West, number 2, Matt Hurley.
And so we'll await the kick, and it's on its way. What of a line drive kick. It's taken down by Hurley on the 2-yard line. He dashes right up, back up the middle, and trips himself and falls down about the 20-yard line after about the 21. Trying to make some extra moves there. Matt Hurley, the young man from Deerfield High School, is trying to make one quick step and slipped and went down to 21, or maybe it would have had some extra yardage out of that, but nevertheless, it's the 1st and 10 for the West squad, and their quarterback will be Corley Haynes, number 21. He's from Coldwater High School. The backs, Buster Kuhn Also Sean Maxwell. Here is a pitch out to Maxwell. Maxwell around this left side. He's going to be dragged out of bounds there by Eric Schlatter, the young man from Little River High School, along with Chris Winter from St. Paul. A 2-yard pickup that time for Sean Maxwell. It brings up a 2nd down and 8. The ball is on the 23-yard line, between the 23 and the 24. And this time they show us a wide out here to the near side, the one lone back. Haynes this time going to hand off to his lone back, and he's stuffed right there, maybe with some extra effort getting an extra yard out of it. But in there to make the stop that time for the East squad is big number 86. That's Dan Schmelsley, and we do mean big. The young man from Axtell High School at 6'7", 230 pounds. It brings up a 3rd down and 7 for the West squad. Ball on the 24. They did get a half a yard out of that. Haynes, your quarterback, I formation this time for the West. Now, Haynes makes a fake, drops straight back, rolls out to the wide side, now drops a pass downfield, but it's going to be caught. If the reception is made by Kyle Korf, number 28. Nice job that time by Kyle Korf as he was slipping to the ground, but still made the grab, a pickup of 19 yards on the play for the West squad. And a big offensive play for them, because had they dropped that, they'd have had to give up the football. 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line.
1st and 10 for the West from the 36.
Haynes this time splits the back. And this time off the quarterback keeper himself. Corley Haynes this way out to the wide side, but drug out of bounds out here by Steve Smith, number 17, the guy coming away with the tackle from Chautauqua High School. But a pickup of 3 yards that time by Corley Haynes brings up a 2nd down and 7. The ball is right on midfield at the 40-yard line for the West, so they're making the best of their opening drive of this all-star game. Haynes back split once again. This time now the fake, hands off to the back. That time it was a handoff to Kuhn, and Kuhn trying to pick his way around the right side off of right tackle, not getting very much out of the play, and maybe picked up a yard out of it. He did. The tackle was made by Tyson Nielsen, number 74. So it will set up a 3rd down and 6. And Tyson Nielsen from Flint Hills High School, 5'10", 215. Brings up, again, 3rd down and 6 for the West. The ball on the East 39-yard line. Lone back with a slot back, and Haynes this time trying to hand off the delay play and didn't fool anybody. Almost the entire left side of the East defense was there to make the stop, and it was a loss on the play. The loss back inside West territory will bring up a 4th down and 8. It was a loss of 2 yards on the play. So the West will have to give it up now. And Haynes is the guy who'll do the punting for the West. And Nick Ivancho will be back deep to receive the punt for the East. Oh, here's the snap and the punt, and it's a wobbly little punt, but it goes down on the right side there. It's not going to be taken by anyone. It'll be touched down inside the 20 at approximately the 17-yard line. We'll call it the 18. As we watch the referee place it down, we see Labertu heading back out to take over the East squad, and we see the referee tell us timeout on the field, with the East squad in control of this one, 6-0. As we watch the All-Star Band perform here this afternoon at Trojan Stadium. Here on this beautiful afternoon for football here in July. Hot and humid, but gotta love football here in the Midwest. Here's the East again. Now they spread the field out wide. They've got Labertu in the shotgun and really have the defense strung out. Here's the little screen pass out here to Ivancho, and Ivancho is going to be knocked out of bounds after a gain. Out there to make the stop again is Hurley, along with number 54. That was Kyle Wolf from Grinnell High School. So Hurley and Wolf to make the stop, but nevertheless it was a pickup that time of a couple of yards by Ivancho after the screen pass out here to the wide side of the field. And a pickup of 2 will leave down a 2nd down and 8. Ball on the 20-yard line. As Labertu again counting, making sure you got enough players out there. And he calls a timeout. And maybe one that I'm sure that Coach Hostetter hoped that he wouldn't use. Probably need that one a little bit later on in the ball game. But nevertheless, a little confused there with the players that he had on the field for what they had expected to call. And now looks like we're about set for action once again here. Labertu again in the shotgun this time, and he has the field spread out wide. He's got the one lone blocking back. Wide outs to both sides. The ball rolls back on the ground. Labertu this time. Now the screen pass to the left side. Out there, but it didn't fool anybody. And the guy coming up with a stop was big number 55, Eric Uno, the 6'1", 205-pound linebacker. And the screenplay that time went out there to the left side of the short side of the field. And the pass receiver was Jason Basil. But Eric Uno saw that one coming all the way and made the stop. It was a loss of 5 yards on the play back to the 15-yard line. So it'll set up 3rd down and 13. Again, wide outs to both sides. 2 of them out here to the wide side. Labertu takes a snap. Here's the pass downfield. The long pass. It's a post pattern, but overthrows his intended receiver. And that time, the guy hitting down the field, Aaron Cheney from Sylvan Grove High School. But Labertu had too much arm on it and overthrew him by about 5 yards. Incomplete pass. And so that will bring up a 4th down for the East, and they'll have to punt it away. 4th down and 13.
Going back for the West squad, number 2,
Bub Tate is the guy who will do the punting duties for the East squad.
Back to punt for the East, number 4.
And Hurley and Wines are back there deep to receive the punt. Well, Bub Tate standing back inside the 5, awaits the snap. Whoop, we've got a penalty flag thrown on the play. Looks like there might be an illegal procedure on the play. We'll see what the referee tells us. And it was illegal procedure on illegal motion by the East squad. It'll cost him 5, so the ball will be set back on the 10-yard line. Brings up 4th down and 23. So it's going to make Bub Tate step back into the end zone, or just right on the goal line, to get this punt away. He will be a yard deep into the end zone. There's a snap. It's a low one on the ground. And Bub Tate trying to get out of there. But he is going to be tackled, and the West is going to have great field position. That low snap really cost the East that time, as Tate had no chance of getting it away. And in there to make the tackle was Eric Uno, number 55. So the West squad with a fabulous opportunity here on the East 10-yard line. And a 1st and 10 from there. Now with a big defensive play that time, and of course the low snap and good defense by the West helped set up this situation for them. Courtney Haynes, your quarterback. Maxwell and Kuhn, your backs. Here's a handoff, and it goes to Kuhn, and Kuhn this time is stopped for a loss on the play. In there to make the tackle. The initial tackle was Slaughter. Eric Slaughter from Little River at 6 foot, 170 pounds, and just slashed right through there to make the stop. There was a loss of a yard on the play, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 11 for the West. Oh, Haynes sets him down. They have the lone back this time, and Haynes fumbles the football, but does pick it up. Is he going to retain possession of it? And no, he doesn't. The East comes up with the football. And so the West squanders an opportunity here deep in East territory and fumbles. The East will take over, and they'll have it right about the 10-yard line. They will have it on the 10-yard line. 1st and 10. Got 6 minutes left in the first quarter, but the East really dodged a bullet there. Labertu returns to quarterback the East squad. And out deep in their own territory, must not make any mistakes here. They still have the lone back. They've got somewhat of a semi-slot back out here. Wide outs to both sides. Labertu off the keeper, and he gets out beyond the 10-yard line. He'll pick up some yardage on the play, as it was just a quarterback keeper all the way around the right side. Picks up 3 yards. Uno and Wilkins in there to make the stop for the West. So it does bring up a second down for the East. Second down and 7. The ball out on the 13-yard line. Labertu brings the East up to the line of scrimmage. But he stays back there in the shotgun right now. His lone back there is Nick Ivancho. Got receiver spread out wide. Now drops back, flashes a pass out there in the flats. It's caught and knocked out of bounds. After a gain on the play is Generu. Generu made the completion, but out there to make the tackle was Kurt Wiekamp. A pickup of 9 yards on the play, enough for the 1st and 10. So the ball on the 22-yard line and a 1st and 10 for the East. As again, they find the range to get themselves out of trouble. And out beyond the 20-yard line, the 22, 1st and 10. Labertu this time up under center. He has wide outs to the wide side. He has the lone back in Ivancho. This time Labertu hands off to Ivancho. Ivancho trying to scoot his way upfield, right up the middle, trying to pick and weave, and he does pick up some extra yardage, about 3, possibly 4 yards on the carry. He does. Mussman and Wolf for the guys in on the stop for the West. And it was Kyle Wolf, the 6-foot, 195-pounder out of Grinnell High School.
Second down and about 7 from the 26.
Along with Mussman. But now the East squad with a second down and 6. The ball on the 26. Labertu up under center. Again, the wide outs here to the wide side. Ivancho again. Here is Labertu. Dropped back now out here to the flat. Just over the outstretched arms this time of the intended receiver. That was Wanzer. But there in coverage was Matt Hurley. That time the pass just a little bit high. And incomplete and off the fingertips. Brings up a 3rd down and 6 for the East squad. To bring in the play now for the East is Todd Babcock. He's from Thayer High School. He'll be your running back. Now he'll be one of your wideouts right now. Still back there in the backfield is Ivancho. This time they have 3 wideouts. Labertu up under center. Quick snap. Drops straight back, now rolls out, now goes back across the grain, and it was almost picked off. The referee shows us that it was incomplete, though, and we're going to take a look at the replay, and you'll see the ground level view here as Labertu rolls out, throwing back against the grain, and there it clearly hits the ground before Wolf was able to pick it off the turf. But nevertheless, a good defensive play by the West. And a good rush that time by the front 3 for the West squad. 4th down and 6 on the East 26-yard line. Bub Tate back to do the punting again. He stands on his own 15-yard line. Hurley and Wines back deep to receive for the West. As there's a low snap again, but Bub Tate this time gets it away. A high spiraling punt, and it will go out of bounds. Down inside, I believe, the 20-yard line at about the 17. So the West will have a 1st and 10 on their own 17-yard line. And again, Haynes will be your quarterback, Courtney Haynes, for the West squad out of Coldwater High School, the 6-foot, 180-pounder. And Maxwell and Kuhn, they will be the backs. This the 3rd offensive series for the West. Here now again, Corley Haynes making a fake, but the quarterback keeper comes around here to the wide side, going to get some extra yardage, almost near the 30-yard line, knocked out at the 29 though, and the guy to make the stop out there was Steve Smith, number 17, just rode him right out of bounds. Pickup of 11 yards on that carry by Corley Haynes. Nicely set up fake to Kuhn, the running back, going to the short side of the field, and then a spin move, almost like the wingback spinner. And Corley Haynes just right back around here to the wide side and picked up the necessary yardage for the 1st and 10. On the 29-yard line, the West with a 1st and 10. And Haynes will set him down. I formation this time with Kuhn and Maxwell the backs. Haynes this time makes a fake, now drops straight back, rolls out to the weak side, makes a pass downfield, and it's going to be over the outstretched arms of his intended receiver out there was Zach Plummer, but he was well covered downfield, and the pass just a little bit too long, so incomplete. Will bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the West on the 29, on their own 29. As the first quarter rolls along here and getting very close to the close of our opening quarter here at the 11th annual 8-man All-Star football game. There's your center coming up to the line of scrimmage for the West. That was Justin Ashmore from Logan High School. Lone back this time. Haynes this time. Hands off to Kuhn. Kuhn around that wide side. He's going to get some extra yardage. Picks up about 5 on the carry. And possibly a little bit more than that as the referees put it down on the 35-yard line. So it was a pickup of 6 that time for Kuhn. Brings up a 3rd down and 4 for the West on their own 35. They need to negotiate 45 more yards to get it into the end zone.
3rd down and 4 for the
West. 3rd down and 4 right now. They must make up that 4 to keep this drive alive. Haynes, I formation this time, and he'll hand off to Maxwell. Maxwell right up the gut, just kind of dragging some people along with him. They finally get him drugged down about a yard short. There's a pickup of 3 on the play for Sean Maxwell. Bring up a 4th down and 1 on the West 39-yard line. And you'd kind of have to assume at this point the West probably needs to take a chance here. I believe that the fans would like to see that happen. I know the players want to make it happen, and they're going to go for it. They need to keep this drive alive and to get something positive happening for them offensively. 4th and 1 on their own 39. I formation this time. Corley Haynes, and he's going to be stuffed. That time, Dan Smelsley, along with Steve Smith in there on the stop, and we're going to take a replay of it here. Another view of it from ground level and see exactly what happened. And it appeared that missed block this time, and there was. The tackle missed the block, and Smelsley just stepped to the inside and met Corley Haynes right there as he was trying to get away after the fake to the running back, and stuffed him for a 5-yard loss along with Steve Smith. And it will give the East squad the football in the West territory on the West 34. 1st and 10 for the East. Labertu again. Now he sets up in the shotgun this time. He's got a lone blocking back there. Wide outs to both sides. Here's Labertu who wants to roll out here. Rolls out to the wide side. Quarterback keeper steps inside of one tackle. Then is knocked down out here by Scott Reinerson from Mineola Fowler, a 6'4", 495-pounder. But nevertheless, it was a pickup that time of 6 yards on the play, and will bring up a 2nd down and 4. Ball on the West 28-yard line. So after the big defensive play by the East squad and stopping the West on their 4th down and 1 attempt, now driving in West territory and trying to stick some more points on the board. They own a 6-0 lead here as we head towards the close of the first quarter. Here's Generu coming back into the ball game as Labertu makes sure he's got enough. Wide outs to both sides. Here's Labertu again. Wants to take it to the wide side again. But that time didn't fool anybody off the quarterback keeper out of the shotgun. Back there to make the stop for the West squad was Paul Mussman. Mussman gets out there quick to make the stop. The young man from Northern Valley High School, 6'6", 205-pound defensive end. And it was a loss of 3 yards on the play for the East. Brings up a 3rd down and 7. The ball back on the West 31-yard line. Have to think maybe that the East would be thinking pass on this particular play, and I believe the West probably has the same idea. Wide outs to both sides. Overstacked on the short side of the field. Labertu, there's the ball on the ground, but Labertu wants to pass out here to the wide side and just lets it fly out of bounds. Out there trying to get to the football was Aaron Cheney. But nevertheless, there was a lot of rush by the West, and Labertu just threw it away. So 4th and 7 for the East squad here on the West 31. And in the West territory this deep, they're going to go for it. The West trying to thwart another drive by the East squad. As Laverty this time still in the shotgun formation as the lone back, wide ass to both sides. Ball again on the ground, rolls back there, but Laverty this time with a pass will throw it out here just off the fingertips of Cheney, the intended receiver, and incomplete. Back there in defensive coverage for the West was Matt Hurley, along with Darren Wines, the 5'10", 165-pound defensive back from Kensington High School. And the West squad thwarts that 4th and 7 opportunity and chance by the East squad, and now the West will take over on their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Well, as we near the end of the first quarter here, the West again taking over now as they arrive at their 31-yard line. Haynes, your quarterback, Kuhn and Maxwell in the backfield. They split the slot back out to the wide side of the field this time. Corley Haynes up under center. Calls the cadence. In motion goes Kuhn to the short side of the field. Now the quarterback sneak by Corley Haynes right up the center. And right behind his big center, and picks up a couple of yards on the play. The tackle that time was made by number 35, Mitch Scher. Mitch Scher, the young man from North Central High School, 6'2", 180 pounds. Linebacker for the East squad. Again, a pickup of 2. 2nd down and 8 now for the West on their own 33. Kuhn and Maxwell still your running backs. This time in the I formation. Haynes makes a fake, drops straight back, wants to let it fly. He does. Downfield it goes and overthrows his intended receiver that time, the tight end, Zach Plummer. Number 15, the young man from Rolla High School, 6'4", 210 pounds. Incomplete pass that time will set up a 3rd down and 8 for the West. Again, the ball placed on the 33-yard line. And Haynes will still be your quarterback. Looks like Korf and Maxwell this time will be your running backs as Korf entered the lineup for Kuhn. Haynes up under center. This time drops straight back. Now we'll hand off the tailback, Maxwell. Maxwell finds a seam right up the gut. Going to get some yardage out of it up near the 1st down marker into the East territory. But looks like the time's just about to run out here. It was a pickup of 7.5 yards for Maxwell that time. Just about the end of the quarter, and there we get the indication from the referee, and it is the end of quarter number 1 with the East on top of the West, 6-0. So as they switch ends here, and the West will still have an opportunity on 4th down if they want to go for it. The ball will be just inside of the East territory at approximately the 39.5. So it should be 4th and about a foot for the West. But again, the opening drive for the East squad, they were able to drive it down and stick it into the end zone, did not complete the extra point, and that's the only points that were scored in that first quarter. So now as we look at the West, they'll set it up here again on the 39-yard line of the East squad. Heading to the West now. Corley Haynes still your quarterback. Korf and Kuhn this time are the running backs. Here's Corley Haynes calling the cadence. This time going to hand off to Kuhn. Kuhn gets a big hole up this right sideline and gets a lot of yardage out of it. He'll pick up the 1st and 10. As a matter of fact, it was a 15-yard gain that time by Kuhn. Good blocking off the right side of the offensive line for the West squad. And that time, Kuhn picks up 15 yards. A tackle was made by Eric Slaughter, number 21 for the East. Brings up a 1st down and 10 for the West on the East 25-yard line. They got a new quarterback in there now, Osborne. Korf and Kuhn the running back, and here is Osborne off the quarterback keeper going around to the wide side. He's going to be knocked out of bounds over there near the 22-yard line. I believe they're going to place it back around the 23, but it was a pickup that time of 3 yards by Ike Osborne. And kind of a strange number for a quarterback, number 66. You'd think of that being a line number or even a linebacker number, but nevertheless, he's in a quarterback right now. Ike Osborne, number 66, and again, it is 2nd down and 8 for the West on the East 23-yard line. Slaughter again had made the tackle there. Here we go, Osborne again off the handoff right up the gut, and that time it went to Korf. And Korf run for about 3 yards that time. Right up the gut. Tackle was made by Smiley and also Bub Tate.
From the 20-yard line for the West.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the West as they do place the ball right on top of the 20-yard line. Show us the I formation this time with Maxwell and Kuhn back in there at the running back position. Osborne makes a fake. Now the quarterback keeper wants to come to the wide side, and he's going to be sacked back there for a loss on the play. Dan Schmelsley, along with, it looked like Chris Winter, guy back there in help with Schmelsley to make the tackle. A loss of 6 yards on the play will bring up a 4th down and 11. But Osborne had no place to go. He was just smothered back there after that loss. 4th down and 11. The ball is back on the 26.5-yard line of the East squad. As Osborne gets the play from the sideline, again, Kuhn and Maxwell will be your running backs. Osborne sets them down again in the I formation. Calls the cadence this time, wants to drop straight back to pass, and has no place to go, getting a big rush, and now is going to be sacked again back near midfield. Matter of fact, they'll place it down on the West 39-yard line, so Osborne had no place to go with that. Great coverage in the secondary by the East squad and had no one to go to. A loss of 12 yards that time. The stop made in the sack by Smiley and also Tate once again. So with that, the ball will go over to the East, and they'll have it on their own. Well, they place it back on the 38-yard line. So the East will have it on their own 38-yard line, 1st and 10. We see Ben Labertu back in there at the quarterback. Ivancho is your lone back. Wide outs to both sides. And in motion, here's the pitch out to Ivancho, trying to get to the outside, and Ivancho's not going to get much out there as he tried to string it out wide and find the seam on the corner, but couldn't do it. The tackle was made by Paul Mussman. Paul Mussman, number 11, getting in there. The 6'6", 205-pound defensive end did his job on that short side of the field. No gain on the play. So we'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the East. They own the 6-0 lead here in the early going of this second quarter. Labertu this time shows us the shotgun. The lone back again, Ivancho. Wide outs to both sides. And the high snap this time. Labertu now trying to roll out there. That just lets it fly upfield, and it's caught. It's caught. It's going to be enough for a 1st and 10, but the guy out there that made the great catch was Cheney. Has Cheney come back to get that one? He had 2 defenders around him, but still able to come down with the play. But Labertu, the guy, here's a replay of it. Watch from the ground level view. He's being chased all over, almost falling on his back and let it fly. Kind of a wounded duck type pass, but nevertheless Cheney came back to get it and made the reception.
1st and 10 for the
And it's going to be enough for a 1st and 10. It was a gain of 22 yards that time from Labertu to Cheney. Back there in defense was Reinerson and Weekamp. Here we go, 1st and 10 for the East. Labertu again in the shotgun, lone back Ivancho, wide outs both sides. Here's a snap, low once again. Labertu lets it fly downfield, down here in the corner. It's caught by Eric Generu. And Generu with a great catch takes it down inside the 5-yard line as he just outleaped the secondary coverage and made a great reception there. 27 yards on the play. Weekamp back there in coverage, but just not tall enough to handle Aaron Generu from Cuba Hillcrest, a 6'1", 165-pounder, and he can get up in the air. And you take a look at Weekamp, and Weekamp at 5'7", 170, just couldn't match up. 1st and goal on the 3-yard line. Got slot back this time. Labertu up under center, wide outs to the wide side. Here's Labertu again, now just dumps it across the middle. Oh, and almost caught for the touchdown, but good defense back there by the West squad. And it was knocked away. Jason Basil was the intended receiver, and it was Wines back there who knocked it away. Darren Wines from Kensington, a 5'10", 165-pounder. Incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down and goal from the 30-yard line. Labertu that time had plenty of time and rolled out there just a little bit to the wide side and found Basil flashing across the middle, but he couldn't hang on. Good defensive play inside the end zone by Wines. Here we go again. Laverty up under center. Got Ivancio the lone back. All right, Laverty looks it over now as he calls the cadence. Quarterback sneak right up the gut. He's going to stretch that long frame out there, but the fumble on the play, it looks like that Bub Tate might have got up there and recovered. I think they might have thought the ground might have caused a fumble, but nevertheless, Bub Tate did recover. It's going to be a little bit short, about the 6-inch line, but it was a gain of 2.5 that time. 2 3/4 by Laverty. Just stretched that long frame out there. A gain of 2.5 yards takes it down within the 6-inch line. It'll be 3rd down and goal from there. For the East, as they already own the 6-0 lead over the West here in the second quarter. Laverty has Tate again, the running back, and here's Laverty again. He's going to be stopped short. Laverty just bumped right there as he got the snap and then slid off to the right side, but it was Scott Reinerson who came over the top to hold him out of the end zone. Boy, that's a tough job. Big defensive play right there to hold Laverty out back close to the end zone. Super goal line stand is going to bring up 4th down and goal, still at the 6-inch line. And so the East trying to punch it in, negotiate that final 6 inches. Tate still your lone running back. Wideouts to the wide side. Laverty again. Here's going to be the handoff. He's going to be stopped. He hands off to Bub Tate, and Tate is stopped trying to go over the top. Super goal line stand. It was a big one. It was Manny Holguin, along with Wolf, along with Juneau, and the rest of the defensive front are there to make that stop. And the West with a fabulous defensive stand at the 6-inch line. Here's a replay. There's Tate trying to go over the top, and there you saw the guy that got him first, Manny Holguin, along with Wolf, and then Juneau getting in there to help. But boy, I tell you what, they find themselves in a deep hole right now as they'll take over 1st and 10 on the 6-inch line. We do have a nice view of the crowd here this afternoon as they watch this 11th annual All-Star game. And listen to the All-Star band play. Now back to live action. Here we go down the 6-inch line, and with the ball that time was Maxwell, and Maxwell just right up the gut, taking the handoff from the new quarterback into the lineup, Osborne, and he picked up nearly 4 yards on that carry out near the 4-yard line. We'll give him 4 anyway. We'll set up a 2nd down and 6, but they really have just gotten beyond the shadow of the goal line. I know they like to get out of there a little bit further than that, at least get a 1st and 10, because any kind of mistake down here would give the East a great opportunity in a short field again. 2nd down and 6. Osborne this time hands off to Kuhn back there. Kuhn's going to be thrown for a loss. Kuhn was just drugged to the turf, and the guy that got back there was number 17, Steve Smith, and just flipped him on his back with a 2-yard loss. As the ball goes back to the 2-yard line, sets up a 3rd down and 8. So Osborne has the play now from the sideline. We'll have it brought into him. And that is Maxwell that returns to the lineup to bring it in. Ike Osborne will bring the West squad up to the line of scrimmage there at the 2-yard line. And Maxwell is your lone block. They've got a slot back. Here's a pitch out to Maxwell. Try and get to the outside, and Maxwell gets back up close to the 5-yard line. That's about all the farther he's going to get, so a gain of 3 out of it. And over there to make the stop for the East was Mitch Scheer along with Eric Slaughter.
And also number 21.
So the West will have to give up the football, and they'll have to punt it out of the end zone.
3rd down and 5 for the West.
It'll give the East the football back, and they'll have great field position out of it. It sets up a 4th down and 5 for the West now. And the guy to punt it away will be Corley Haynes. He was your quarterback at the beginning of the ball game, and he's back there deep into the end zone. Ivancio is back deep. There's a snap. The ball is up. A high spiraling punt by Corley Haynes, taken by Ivancio about the 38-yard line. Ivancio breaking it back up at the far sideline. Breaks open at the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and knocked out of bounds. Wow. Ivancio found a seam up that far sideline and picked and weaved his way back up through the West defensive players and picked up a bundle on that. It was a 37-yard return for Ivancho. The ball will be on the 5-yard line. First and goal for the East. They're knocking on the door once again. And Labertu again will be your quarterback. As the East, with that big punt return by Ivancho, puts themselves in great field position. Again, Ivancho is your lone back there. They have wideouts here to the wide side of the field. Dual set out here. Labertu, your quarterback, calls the cadence up under center. This time, Labertu off the quarterback keeper, going to get to the 5, to the 4, the 3, dives over, touchdown. Touchdown for the East, and that time Labertu just followed his blocking and with his big frame just dove over the pylon out here over the wide side of the field, and a 5-yard touchdown by Ben Labertu. And that puts up, here's your replay on a ground level view, and Labertu, as you can see, just diving right over the pylon, gets that big frame out there. When you string the defense out that far, usually those are the kind of things that happen. You're able to get into the end zone. All right, here we go with the extra point try. Labertu has him spread out there to the short side of the field. Labertu wants to roll out. He gets down about the 5-yard line. Just kind of tosses it into the end zone. Looked like that it might have slipped out of his hands. And besides the fact, his intended receiver, Babcock, slipped down in the end zone. But nevertheless, the result is the same. It goes for naught. And the East now still with their 12-0 lead here over the West. We have about 8 minutes to go before halftime. We'll await the kickoff here by the East to the West. And the West desperately needs to get something going offensively at this time. They had the great goal line stand in stopping the East just a few minutes ago, but then again off the big punt return by Ivancho, it set up the touchdown by Ben Labertu. That is his second of this first half. So the guy that'll be kicking off will be David Robinette, number 97, teeing it up there on the 30-yard line. And the big guy, he's from Jewell High School at 6'1", 225 pounds. He also plays on the line as a guard. Gets a signal from the referee, and David Robinette on his way. Puts a toe into this one, a high end-over-end boot, and it's going to be taken down there on the 2-yard line by Hurley. Hurley trying to find a seam, gets back to the middle, right up the middle, past the 25, past the 30-yard line, out to the 32. Nice run that time by Matt Hurley, the young man from Deerfield High School. At 5'8", 170 pounds, found the seam, some good blocking, but the tackle that time was made by Bronson Brown from Wakefield High School, the 5'8", 160-pounder. That will give the West a 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line. Ike Osborne again will be the quarterback for the West. As we take a look here and see Kuhn and Maxwell in the backfield. Osborne up under center. This time Osborne drops straight back, wants to pass. Now lets it fly out there in the fly. That's caught. And the receiver that time was Dome. Jake Dome made the catch out there. A 16-yard pickup. And a defensive coverage was Eric Slaughter, a young man from Little River High School. He's been involved in a lot of defensive plays here this afternoon. But nevertheless, it was a 16-yard pickup. And will be a 1st and 10. It takes it down to the 32-yard line of the East, into the East territory. 1st and 10 from there. Osborne again. Kuhn and Maxwell are your running backs. Here's the pitch out. Going to Kuhn. Kuhn trying to find his way. Kuhn, just gets nailed right here on the sideline. And Eric Slaughter again, the guy that just almost beheaded him.
No gain on the play.
But took him out of bounds for a loss of 1.
Yes, we had a loss of 1, 2nd and 11.
We'll bring up a 2nd down and 11, but Eric Slaughter, I mentioned him just a moment ago. That young man is just an active defensive player all over the field, and you saw right there, he's not afraid to put a stick on anybody. 2nd down and 11, the ball back on the East 33-yard line. As Kuhn and Korf are your running backs now. Kuhn the fullback, Korf the tailback. Osborne takes a snap, play action pass, drops straight back, wants to let it fly. He does. Downfield it goes, and it's going to be caught down there. The guy who made the catch was Jake Dome. went up high in front of Steve Smith, and guess who else was back there? Eric Slaughter, but nevertheless, Jake Dome came down with it. Here's your replay as Ike Osborne lets it fly. Nice spiraling pass down there, and again, Jake Dome went up high to make that grab right on the sideline. Excellent athletic move that time by the young man. Complete for 26 yards. It's going to be a 1st and goal for the West on the East 7-yard line. Here's the I formation again. Osborne this time. Now he hands off to Kuhn. Kuhn around that far side and in for the touchdown. A misdirection handoff to the tailback, Kuhn, and Kuhn just dashed around there untouched into the end zone, and the touchdown for the West. We just talked about that. They need to get something going offensively. Well, it was a couple of big pass plays that helped them out there, and now a big run by Kuhn to get into the end zone. It's 12-6. The East on top. Here's the extra point try by the West. They'll split the backs this time. As Osborne up under center, Maxwell and Kuhn back there. Here is Osborne. Osborne didn't have a chance to get anything away. As the guy that broke through there, Bub Tate, wrapped up Osborne before he could make a move to do anything. And so thwarts that extra point at opportunity and try for the West. And our score with 6:14 to go before halftime, the East 12, the West 6. We'll have the kickoff here in just a moment, but as we mentioned, it was a couple of beautiful pass plays that really set up that long drive by the West to get themselves on the scoreboard for the first time in this 11th annual All-Star game. And Osborne hooked up with Dome a couple of times, a 16-yard pass play, and then the big 26-yarder, and then, of course, a 7-yard run by Kuhn put it into the end zone. So the West finds themselves right back in this one, only down by half a dozen. Teeing it up will be Jake Dome, the guy who made those two great catches. And back deep to receive for the East will be McGee and also Ivancho. As Dome awaits the signal from the referee, and he does. He's on the way, puts the toe into this one, kind of a line drive squib, and it will go out of bounds down there inside the 5-yard line. And, of course, the East will have the decision to make here whether they want to take the penalty and make the West re-kick the football, or if they want to take it in their own territory. And that's what they're discussing right now with Bub Tate. And it looks like that they're going to make the West re-kick. They'll take the 5-yard penalty. That'll put the ball back on the 25. That's where Dome will re-tee it up and kick from there. With this penalty, it gives the opportunity for the East to make a good run back. So Dome will await the signal from the referee and have his second chance of keeping this one in play. And again, back there is Ivancho and McGee. Dome on the way. Here's the kick again. This time a real squib kick, and down to Ivancho at the 5-yard line. Can get into the outside, beyond the 20 to the 25, and slips down there trying to make the cut back to the inside. The guy to make sure that he stayed down was Eric Wolf. That's number 54. The guy from Grinnell High School, but nevertheless, Ivancho that time, as he had gotten to the sideline and tried to make that cut back, just slipped down there. And that's where the East will have the football on their own 31-yard line. 1st and 10, Labertu. Again, your quarterback. Ivancho is your lone back. And the wideout to the far side of the field. Labertu looks over the defense. As Tom takes a snap and pitches out to Ivancho. Ivancho getting out there to the 30, up to the 35, up near midfield, beyond the midfield stripe, unless he stepped out of bounds. He may have been out of bounds a little bit before that. I believe they say he did step out about the 37-yard line, close to the 38. It will be a pickup of 7 on the play, and they will put it on the 38-yard line. So it'll set up a 2nd down and close to 3 for the East. Ivancho, your running back. A wide out to the short side of the field. Matter of fact, double wide outs out there to the short side. Laverty again calls the cadence this time, and he hands off to Ivancho once again. A nice fake move there, getting to the outside, and Ivancho is going to have enough for the 1st and 10, but everything was stuffed right in the middle, and he just busted to the outside. But great pursuit out there. Brought him down, or it could have been a much bigger play than that. Paul Mussman, along with Weens, was out there to make the stop on Ivancho. It was a gain of 5, though, and puts the ball into the West territory with 5:34 to go. 1st and 10 for the East. Ball on the West 37-yard line. Here's Laverty. Looks over the defense. Ivancho, your running back. Correction, it's Babcock, your running back. Here's the lofty timing pattern, and the timing pattern was not there because the receiver, the intended receiver, that was Cheney. He was held up at the line of scrimmage. And that's probably about the best defense you can make on one of them timing patterns, is just hold up the receiver so that he can't get out there. And that's exactly what happened. So it was an incomplete pass. And no gain on the play. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the West 37-yard line. The East in control, 12-6. And they're on the drive again here. 5 minutes to go before halftime. 2nd down and 10. Here getting into the lineup now is Aaron Cheney once again as a wideout. Babcock, your running back. Laverty. Laverty again, drops straight back. This time wants to pass. Passes out there in the flat. Going to Cheney, but it's incomplete. Just a little bit beyond his outstretched arms. And an incomplete pass. We'll bring up a 3rd down now. 3rd down and 10 for the East. And again, that time, Cheney trying to take it to the outside. He made the nice route moving back to the inside and then broke it back out to the outside. But as Laverty let go of it, he just threw it a little bit away from Cheney, trying to make sure there was no interception there. 3rd down and 10. Here is triple wideouts now. In the shotgun is Laverty. Ivancho's in the slot. Here's the snap. Now he lets it fly downfield, and it's going to be caught down there. Ivancho again with a great reception down here inside the 10-yard line, and takes it out about the 7. So it's going to be 1st and goal from there, but it was a nice fake that time by Ben Laverty, as it really froze the defense for a moment and allowed Ivancho to get down there behind the secondary and made the grab, and he was knocked out of bounds by number 29, Darren Weens. And so it sets up a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line for the East. They're knocking on the door once again here with just under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Laverty, your quarterback, got the lone back there. Wideouts, and here is Laverty. Rolls out. Laverty with the quarterback keeper. He's going to be stopped, though, as getting out there to make the stop and tackle Laverty was McDowell and Weekamp. No gain on the play, but they really just strung that one out. He couldn't find anybody open in the end zone. Good defense that time by the West, and sets up a 2nd and goal at the 7. And now Babcock is going to be your running back for the East, as we watch the East here with their lone back set that they've run all game so far. Laverty this time up under center, and Laverty with the quarterback keeper right up the middle. Not going to get too much out of it, though, as it looks like he's going to get possibly a yard. The tackle made that time by number 58, Wilkins, along with Holguin and the rest of the defensive front. And number 75 was a pickup of 1. It'll bring up 3rd down and goal from the 6. From the 5. And here the play will arrive to Laverty, being brought in by Generu. And the guy that's coming out of there now is Jason Basil, and Babcock is back in. A 3rd down and goal from the 6-yard line. And wide outs to both sides. Shotgun formation by Labertu. Takes the snap. And here's the pass, a timing pass out here into the end zone. Touchdown! The guy to make the grab, Aaron Generu, called his own number as he took the play in from the sideline, but a beautiful pass by Labertu, the timing pattern in the corner of the end zone, and Generu with the touchdown. And so now the East takes command here, 18-6. And we have there's a replay of it. As you can see, Labertu just kind of holds it up momentarily and then lofts it up there in the corner for Generu. Beautiful timing pattern. And the guy back there in coverage for the West, that was Colby Hensley from Buckland High School. Here is the extra point try by the East as Labertu trying to set his offense. Babcock along with number 42, that's Bub Tate. Well, there's a penalty flag and a whistle. Looks like they've had some trouble getting this play set up, and possibly a delay of ball game will be called here, and that's exactly what we get the indication from the referee. It is the delay of game. Cost the East 5 yards. Will set them back to the 8, but they'll still have an opportunity for their extra point try. 3:26 remains here before halftime, and the East with that 18-6 lead. Labertu this time hopefully has the right personnel in the ball game. I formation again. Babcock and Tate your eye backs. As Labertu looks it over, here's the ground level view of this shot, and Labertu this time off the rollout, and Labertu with the quarterback keeper as he's not going to get it. He lost the ball out of bounds, but there to make the stop was Hurley along with Paul Mussman. And so the East has not been able to convert on an extra point try, but they do own an 18-6 lead with 3:26 left here before halftime in this 11th annual All-Star game. And again, as we tell you that Labertu has scored a couple of touchdowns, and then the one just made here by Aaron Generu. And here's the kickoff by the East, and Endover in boot. Will go down there, taken by Hurley. Hurley takes it inside the 5, gets up the middle, and now slips down there. He had somebody who just caught his ankle, and he fell down at about the 20-yard line. I believe they might put it back on him on the 18. And we'll call it a return. Oh, no, he put it on the 20-yard line. It was a return of 18 yards by Matt Hurley. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the West 20-yard line. Osborne is your quarterback once again. Looks like Kuhn and Maxwell will be your running backs. They show us the I formation here off of this offensive series. Ike Osborne this time makes a fake play action. Back there to pass. Osborne, he's wrapped up. Now he dumps it out there. Oh, this one, they're getting indication from the East that I'd like to see. There is a penalty flag. It's going to be intentional grounding called on Ike Osborne, and that's going to cost them. Matter of fact, that's going to cost them half the distance to the goal line and cost them a down. So there we see the indication from the referee that it was intentional grounding on your quarterback, Ike Osborne. And so it will set the ball back to the 7-yard line and bring up a 2nd down and 23. Oh, the referees making picking up the yellow hankies, and we'll march it off back to the 7-yard line. And again, I get the indication here. So 2nd down and 23
7-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down
for the West. As they're deep in their territory here as the time begins to tick on down here to close out our first half of play. Can ill afford a mistake down here deep. They have the lone back this time. Maxwell, Osborne with the quarterback keeper, and he can't get anywhere. He is stuffed right there as it was a loss of 2 yards on the play back inside. Well, just inside the 5-yard line. We're going to call it a loss of 2. It was Tyson Nielsen, the guy on the stop that time. That's 2 in a row for him. He was the guy that had Osborne in the grasp a few moments ago that caused Osborne to throw the intentional grounding pass. So Tyson Nielsen with 2 straight back-to-back good defensive plays here. Now it's 3rd down and 25 for the West. They're on their own 5-yard line. High formation. Here's Osborne. He hands off to Kuhn. Kuhn trying to get to the outside. Kuhn does break away there and get out beyond the 10-yard line, close to the 14. And he's going to get a gain of 9 yards out of it. We'll put the ball out at the 14-yard line. Well, nevertheless, we'll set up a 4th down and 16. It was Dan Schmelsley, number 86, the big guy from Axtell High School, that made the stop on Kuhn. So 4th down and 16. And the West will have to punt it away. Haynes is standing back inside his 5-yard line. There's a high snap. Haynes is going to get it away. A high end-over-end boot. And Ivancho back there, but it goes out of bounds. Matter of fact, it's going to be an awfully short punt. It may end up only being about 14 yards. Is that angled out of bounds? That's what Haynes was trying to do with it, to get it away from Ivancho and not allow him a big return. But in that effort, he also shanked it somewhat, and it went out of bounds. A very, very short punt of only 14 yards. So the East, again, great opportunity here. They have the ball on the West 28-yard line. 1st and 10 as we are inside 3 minutes to go now in this first half of play. Here's Labertu again, shotgun, wideouts here to the wide side of the field. The lone back there, blocking back. There's the ball rolling back there to him. Labertu taking that near busted play and getting some positive yards out of it, getting down inside the 25 of the 24. So a pickup of 4 yards after it appeared that it could be a busted play or even a turnover there. Fumble situation. But Labertu, with his athletic ability, able to pick it up and get some yardage out of it. 2nd down and 6 for the East on the West 24. Here again, wideouts to both sides. One lone back there. Labertu shotgun, takes a snap this time. Labertu off the rollout, wants to come to the wide side. Now Labertu is going to be thumped out of bounds down inside the 24. Knocked out of bounds by Reinerson there. Taken out of bounds. I believe he's going to get about 2 yards out of it, as they'll put it there on the 22, close to the 23-yard line. Will still be 3rd down and 4. We'll call it the 23 for the East. 39 seconds to play here in this first half. Here's Labertu, shotgun again now. Looks, lets it fly downfield, and no, the pass was caught down there. The intended receiver was Bronson Brown, and he was out of bounds, but a penalty flag is down. And they're going to call holding, I believe, on the East. They will. It's going to cost them. But also, it stops the clock and probably will give the East one more opportunity. You know, at this point in this first half, I'm sure the West would like to only go in down by the 12 points, 18-6. But the East appears they'll have another opportunity here. Holding was called on the East, and that will cost them some yardage. Cost them 10, actually. They'll set it back on the 33-yard line of the West. It'll be 3rd down and 14. Ball set up on the 33. We're going to go to the ground level camera and take a view at this particular play in just a moment. Here is Labertu now, swings it out there to General, lateral pass, fires it downfield, and Bronson Brown back there deep, falls into the end zone, double coverage, touchdown for the East. Well, we figured that one could happen, the trick play, but Bronson Brown came down with a pass, and it was a beautiful setup situation. The lateral to Generu, and Generu is a quarterback for Cuba Hillcrest, did this last couple of years, and he fired a beautiful spiral down there to Bronson Brown. Brown going up between the two defenders, Weens and Wiecamp down there, and they basically all came down with it together, but joint possession always goes to the offense. But you know, you take a look at those guys, and Wiecamp at 5'7", 170, and then also Weens at 5'10", so basically all about the same size, but nevertheless it was a touchdown for the East. Now in motion is Babcock here for the extra point try. There's a handoff to Bub Tate. Bub Tate stops right at the line of scrimmage and then just dumps it overhead pass inside the end zone. But that's an illegal play, and Juneau's the guy that breaks it up there. So the East comes away empty-handed on all 4 of their attempts at the extra point. But nevertheless, they lead 24-6 with just under 30 seconds left here before halftime. We'll get the kickoff here in just a moment, but the East has really taken control of this football game. They've taken advantage of the opportunities that has been presented to them. And, a situation there where they had a penalty, and they could have just well, run it out and gave it back to the West, but they did not. They went for the trick play to put some more points on the board, and were successful in doing that. The guy teeing it up, will tee it up here in just a moment, Robinette. He'll be doing the kicking duties. Back deep is Hurley. He wears number 2, and the up back is Korf, number 28. And so Robinette awaits the signal from the referee here. With just under 30 seconds, here we go. And here's kind of a squib-type kick. Looks like the up back's going to take it, Korf. And Korf trying to get to the outside out there on that far side of the field will be knocked out of bounds. The guy who made the tackle on him was Bronson Brown, the young man who just made that touchdown reception for the East, but knocks Korf out of bounds over there at the 32-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 there for the West. Osborne is your quarterback. And they might get 1 or 2 plays off here before halftime. We'll wait and see, as Osborne's a guy who's been the quarterback throughout the second quarter. As we see the backs back there, Kuhn and Maxwell. And Osborne this time drops straight back, wants to pass, dumps it off out there to Kuhn. Now Kuhn trying to come back to the middle of the field. He does, but the ball is on the ground. I think they're going to say the ground caused the fumble. But Kuhn that time trying to make a nice run back to the middle and get open was tackled there by Smiley and Tate, and they put a thump on him. Here's a replay, ground level view. There's a dump out to Kuhn as he swings back to the inside. And, of course, when you do that, there's an undercut there. The guy who got underneath him was Smiley, and then Tate just finished him off. Well, the East really has done an excellent job. There is the end of our first half of play. And with 2 quarters in the record books here at the 11th annual All-Star 8-man football game, the East with a commanding lead at halftime, 24-6. Let's recap the first half scoring now, as the East took the opening kickoff and drove it 65 yards in 12 plays for the lead of 6-0. It was a Labertu 1-yard run. And then it was a long punt return by Ivancho to set up the second score, a 5-yard run by Labertu for the 12-0 lead by the East. And that was Labertu's second touchdown of this first half. Then the West got on the scoreboard. It was a 4-play, 48-yard drive, 2 key pass plays, a 16-yard and 26-yarder to Jake Dome. And then that set up the 7-yard run by Kuhn, and that gave the West 6 points, and at that point, 12-6. All of the extra points had failed at that point. Then the East came right back with 2 scores. An 8-play, 43-yard drive capped a Labertu to Generou pass play for a touchdown and an 18-6 lead. And, of course, the PAT failed once again. Then with just over 30 seconds left before halftime, it was a trick play that the East set up after a penalty, and it was a Labertu to Generou lateral pass, and then Generou downfield to Bronson Brown, and he got into the end zone. It was a pass that was caught by both the defender and Brown, but nevertheless, in that joint possession, it goes to the offense, and the East with their lead of 24-6 at halftime. Let's take a look at the stats now. And for the East in the first half, they had 45 yards rushing, the West with 46, so everything pretty even there. Passing, the East with 170, the West with 55. There's the deficiency in that first half. Total yards, the East with 215, and the West with 101. The East, as you can see, really dominated in the passing area. They also dominated that first half in scoring, and lead at halftime 24-6. We now have some halftime entertainment for you, and right now the Wakanda East drill team under the direction of Carl Fitzgerald is performing down on the field. Let's go down and join them in progress. Well, we want to thank the Wakanda East drill team for their performance here at halftime at our all-star 8-man football game. Take another look at the crowd here this afternoon at Beloit Trojan Stadium, getting ready now for the second half of play here in our 8-man all-star football game. It'll be the East kicking off in the second half. Guy teeing it up, David Robinette, and waits the signal from the referee. Back deep is Hurley. Oh, third quarter just about to get underway. Robinette approaches, and here's an end-over-end boot down there. Hurley's going to take it on about the 2-yard line. Hurley going right back up the center now, cutting back to the inside, is going to be stopped out there at the 24-yard line. So he gets a pickup of 22 yards on the return. The guy who makes the tackle, matter of fact, a couple of them out there, Mitch Shear and Bub Tate.
West takes over, 1st and 10.
Bub Tate, the 6'2", 185-pounder from South Haven. And so it'll be a 1st and 10 for the West on their own 24-yard line. Courtney Haynes returns to take over the quarterbacking duties now for the West. The I formation, Maxwell and Kuhn. Here's a handoff to the second back through. That was Maxwell. And Maxwell this time gets about 2 yards out of it, but he was stuffed right there as he got across the line of scrimmage. Dan Schmelsley along with Chris Winter. And they put a stick on him as he got it out to the 26-yard line. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 for the West. The West has not had a lot of success. Did not have a lot of success of passing in that first half. Maybe they'll keep it on the ground here a lot in the third quarter. I formation for the West again in the I, and there's the handoff the first back through. That's Kuhn this time, and Kuhn right up the gut. He's going to pick up some yards. Matter of fact, got 6 out of it. And 6 before he was stopped by Bub Tate along with Eric Slaughter. We've not mentioned that young man for quite a while, but he's been involved in a lot of defensive plays here this afternoon. But Kuhn, 6 yards out of that run. Brings up a 3rd down and 2 on the West 32-yard line. Haynes splits the box this time. So Corley Haynes calls the cadence. This time we'll hand off to Buster Kuhn again up that left side, right behind the big tackle, and he gets a bundle out of it. Matter of fact, he picked up 7 yards off of that slashing run behind left tackle. And a 1st and 10 for the West as they move the stakes on the far side. The guys that made the stop for the East. Number 17, Steve Smith, along with Eric Slaughter. So again, we begin to mention Eric Slaughter again. He's getting involved in some more tackles. 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line for the West. Haynes, I formation this time. He'll hand off to his tailback, and that time it's Maxwell. Maxwell slashes off right side for a gain of 4. As it looks as though the West wants to just keep it on the ground and then pound it out now and make some good positive offensive plays out of this. It was a pickup of 4. 2nd down and 6. The ball is on the East 37-yard line. So Haynes sets him down, splits the backs again. Kuhn and Maxwell. He'll hand off this time to Kuhn off that left side. That was the same play that he picked up the first down a while ago, and he picks up some more positive 4, possibly 5 yards out of it. We'll see where they place it down, and let's give him close to 5 yards out of that, as it will set up 3rd down and 2. Ball on the East 28-yard line. 3rd down and 2. Again, the eye now this time. There is the handoff, and Korf that time was the guy that playing fullback, and it was a handoff to him. He does get some short yardage out of it, about 1. It's going to bring up a 4th down and just inches here now. Scher and Tate, the guys in on the stop for the East. But the West satisfied with keeping it on the ground and just grinding it out. 4th down and just inches. Ball on the 28.5, close to the 27-yard line. Kuhn and Maxwell back in there. I formation here. They're going to hand off to the first back through. Again, that's going to be Kuhn. Buster Kuhn from Coldwater, and he got another first down. Boy, that time just a quick hitter right up the gut. Good blocking that time by the center and the right guard. And Buster Kuhn gets 4.5 on the carry. Smith and Dan Schmelsley, the guys that made the stop that time for the East. But nevertheless, it is a 1st and 10 on the East 25-yard line. West got a good drive going here. I formation. Here's Haynes. Hands off to Maxwell. And no, it's a fake and a keeper by Courtney Haynes. Boy, nice fake that time by Maxwell. And Courtney Haynes with the keeper. And he takes it around the short side of the field and picks up 3 yards on that. Schmelsley along with Smith, the people in on the stop for the East. But Courtney Haynes really made a nice fake that time as he stuck it all the way in the gut, and Maxwell helped him out there, a little bit of acting. And Haynes pulled it right back out and took it around the short side of the field. 2nd down and 7, ball on the 22-yard line. I formation again. There's Korf, and now the handoff to Kuhn. Kuhn at the 20, inside the 20, and down close to the 16-yard line. There to make the stop, Smith and Schmelsley again, but a gain of 6, and Buster Kuhn running hard here in his second half and his third quarter. Picking up some good yardage here for the West squad as they're driving now on their opening possession here of the third quarter. They have it 3rd down and 1 on the East 16-yard line. So as the West arrives at the line of scrimmage, Courtney Haynes, your quarterback. It is Korf and Maxwell, your running backs, and here is a handoff to Maxwell, and Maxwell right up the gut's going to get some yardage out of it. Going to get enough for the 1st and 10, takes it down to the 13-yard line, but it looks like we've got an injured player that's down there for the East, and we see it's number 42, Bub Tate. And Bub Tate looks to be in a heck of a lot of pain right now. Certainly hope it's not serious, but you never know in these situations, especially when you get caught in the middle like that. Anybody can get you twisted and fall on a knee or fall on an ankle or whatever, but they're certainly taking their time right now with Bub Tate. You can really tell that he is in extreme pain right now. He really is played well on both sides of the ball, both offensively, and now he's getting helped off the field here, and it certainly doesn't look like it's a very pretty picture as Bub Tate possibly will not be back this afternoon the way it looks right now. Sure hate to see that. Fine young man from South Haven High School, 6'2", 185-pounder. He's the nose guard. Also plays some running back. And a good player, both offensively and defensively. But like he's going to be out for the rest of the afternoon. It will be a 1st and 10, though, for the West on the East 13-yard line. They've kept this on the ground all the way and just ground it out. All right, here's Courtney Haynes, looks over the defense. There's the fake. Now the handoff to tailback Maxwell, right up the gut, keeps his legs driving down inside the 5, and Maxwell running hard, picks up 9. He's finally drugged down there by Eric Slaughter along with Brent McGee. But nevertheless, it's going to be 1st and goal for the West as Maxwell really put the drive to the legs that time. Sean Maxwell from Quinter, 6'2", 185-pounder. All right, 2nd down and 1. The West can get a first down inside the 4-yard line. Here's the back split this time. It's Korf and Kuhn. There's a handoff to Kuhn, and Kuhn dives off that left side. He's going to pick up 1 yard down there, but nevertheless, it's going to be good enough for the 1st and 10. We get the indication from the referee, and the guy Guys in there on the stop with Scher along with Nielsen and Winter. A good hard running from Buster Kuhn off that left side will set up a 1st and goal on the east 3-yard line. Korf comes out of there. Maxwell is back into the lineup now for the West. As Kuhn is your fullback, Maxwell is your tailback. Haynes this time, and hands off to Kuhn at first back through, but he's going to be stuffed right there. He didn't get anything at all, didn't fool anybody. Smiley, Scher, and Winter all there to make the stop.
Number 50, Chad Smiley.
At that time, there was good penetration by the East, as there just isn't much room to block or too much of any place to go down here when you get that close to the goal line, inside the red zone. Well, it sets up a 2nd down and 3. High formation. Here's a handoff again to Maxwell, and Maxwell diving hard, getting down close to the goal line, but it's going to be short. As Smiley and Chris Winter there to help make the stop. Gain of 2 that time for Maxwell. They'll put the ball back on the 1-yard line. Well, it was a pickup of 2. 3rd down and goal. Oh, the West having 4 opportunities here to stick it in. I know they didn't want to take that many, but nevertheless, I'm sure they're going to take every opportunity they can. I formation again. Maxwell along with Kuhn, your running backs. Here is a quarterback keeper by Corley Haynes, and Haynes is going to be stopped just short. As again, it was Tyson Nielsen along with Chris Winter. Chris Winter has really been in on a couple of big defensive stops here in the last couple of plays. But Haynes trying to go for the quarterback keeper. Got it just a little bit closer, just inches away now. 4th and goal on about the 3-inch line. Kuhn and Maxwell, your running backs. Haynes still your quarterback. And here's the eye. This time, handoff to Maxwell in the end zone. Touchdown for the West. This one was a picture-perfect drive, really. Well, there's a penalty flag that is thrown now. And looks like it's going to be called against the East. We can see that the West showing their appreciation for the call by the referees. The touchdown will stand. It'll be refused by the West, and they will, it was a face mask call on the East. And so the West will get the touchdown as we have a timeout. And the score right now, the East still on top, 24-12. And of course now the attempt for the extra point. As the West calls a timeout right now, they want to talk it over on what particular play that they want to call here. We want the coaches to go out and talk to their respective units. The offensive unit for the West, defensive unit for the East. So the extra point try forthcoming in just a moment. Corley Haynes again leads the West back to the line of scrimmage. It is Kuhn, your fullback, Maxwell, your tailback. And Hayes looks over the defense. Here is the snap. There's a handoff to Maxwell. Maxwell running hard off that left side. Does he get in? Yes, he does. Just gets it across the goal line. And for the first time this afternoon, an extra point has been completed. And the West is the guys that does it first, and they draw themselves back within 10 now. As our score at this point, the East 24 and the West 14. They're back within 10. We'll have a kickoff here in just a moment. But that was just an excellent drive that time by the West. They ate up some time here in the third quarter and made it picture perfect, taking the kickoff all the way down into the end zone. The only problem there, we saw the young man from the East squad, Bub Tate, getting injured. And we understand now that pretty serious knee injury, and we will not see him the rest of the afternoon, but certainly hate to see that. All right, we watched Jake Dome tee it up out there to kick off after the touchdown drive here in the third quarter. Back deep to receive for the East is Brent McGee and Nick Ivancho. And Dome on the way, puts a toe into this one high, end over end boot. Down there to take it on the 2-yard line is Brent McGee up that far sideline, now getting back to the middle, back to the 15, up beyond the 20, and about the 21-yard line. as he is tackled there by Kurt Weekamp. At a 19-yard return after the kickoff, will set the ball up at the 21-yard line. 1st and 10 for the East. And the first offensive series here for the East in this second half. Laverty will return to be your quarterback, along with, looks like Nick Ivancho in the backfield. And, of course, wideouts here to the wide side of the field. Laverty looks over the defense, checks out his running back, Ivancho. Here's the ground level view. There's a handoff to Ivancho. Ivancho doesn't get much at all. Maybe no gain on the play as he was hit in the backfield. It was there that Tyrone Wilkins, along with Paul Mussman, got a hold of him, and he just barely got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 from the East 21-yard line. So the West appears to be fired up defensively as well as offensively after that long drive for the touchdown. 2nd down and 10. Here's wideouts of both sides. Babcock is your slot back. Laverty the shotgun, takes a snap, drops back. Now lets it fire out here into the flat, and Genereux is your intended receiver, but he falls to the ground, and it's an incomplete pass. So that will bring up a 3rd down now for the East. But good rush that time by the West, getting into the backfield and putting a little extra pressure on Laverty. He likes to do lots of things out of that shotgun set. But again, from the 21-yard line, it'll be 3rd down and 10 for the East. Laverty again from the shotgun. Babcock still your blocking back. Wideouts both sides. Laverty this time now rolls out. Now lets it fire downfield. Long pass down here. It's going to be caught by Genereux. Genereux into West territory, down inside the 30 at about the 27. Holy smokes, a 32-yard gain that time by the East. Here's the replay, and Laverty throws that one off his back heel and get it downfield there to Genereux, as Genereux was in the open right there in between the defenders and made the grab and takes it down inside the 30 to 28-yard line is where we'll place it down. 1st and 10 for the East in the West territory. Laverty really has a strong arm. Most of the afternoon he's been throwing that ball off his heels, but still able to get a lot on it. All right, here's Laverty, wants to roll out, lets it fly downfield, gets it to Wanzer, the tight end. He's wide open down there, and he'll take it down inside the 10. He's knocked out of bounds there by Scott Reinerson about the 8-yard line, but the big tight end was wide open. Kelly Wanzer from Center High School, 6'1", 221 pounds. You'd have to think that the West was thinking that Laverty wanted to go to Genereux once again. But the tight end wide open that time, so it is a 1st and goal on the West 8-yard line, and the West is having to suck it up and play some tough defense here. The East knocking on the door once again. Laverty again now set up in a shotgun as he's blocking back in there. Wide out to both sides. There's a snap. Laverty rolls out and then fires downfield. Oh, Genereux with great concentration, but caught it out of bounds. And Matt Hurley, the guy in defense, just did a great job there in getting that ball tipped away. Really saved the touchdown momentarily anyway. Here's the replay of it as you watch the pass down there. And there you actually see it on the replay that Matt Hurley just tipped it just far enough that Genereux had to catch it out of bounds or be out of bounds so the play would not go for any positive yardage. But here now is a 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line as we watch Babcock back in there as the blocking back. Laverty in the shotgun. Wide outs to both sides. Ivancho is out here spread out wide to the left side. Laverty takes a snap. Now the quick throw over here to Ivancho. Ivancho trying to make some moves. Ivancho in the end zone, touchdown. That was a quick lateral pass to Ivancho and just let him go one-on-one out there. And he was able to get into the end zone. Touchdown for the East. Ivancho hurt his ankle just a little bit, but gets the fire. Here's the replay as you watch the pass out here to Ivancho. Now the juke and jive on Hurley, and just into the end zone as Ivancho made a nice move there. And another touchdown for the East. They now lead it 30-14. Genereux brings in the play that they want to go for here on the extra point try. But the East just seems to be unstoppable through the air And then you get a one-on-one situation like that with Ivancho, and he was able to make a good move on Hurley after that great defensive play that Hurley had made just moments earlier. Here's Babcock, you're blocking back. Labertu again, shotgun, wide outs both sides. General out here to the left side. Here's the snap. Labertu drops back, rolls out to the right side, now dumps it out there, but overthrows the intended receiver down there inside the end zone, and the pass is incomplete. I believe it was Aaron Cheney, the intended receiver, and it is incomplete, but our score remains the same. The East still in control with a score of 30-14. There is 6:07 remaining in the third quarter, and we'll get the kickoff here in just a moment. After that score by the East, of course, back deep for the West, it'll be Weekamp along with Hurley. Those are the two guys that have been back there most of the time on the kickoffs. But the East certainly controlling this ball game to this point. As we watch the East head out there to get the kickoff set up. And again, it'll be David Robinette, the guy that will tee it up. As he will
Number 97, David Robinette.
Spot it on the 30. And we'll wait for the referee to give him the signal. Beautiful afternoon here for the 11th annual All-Star Ball Game, and here is the kickoff by Robinette. High end over end boot goes down there to Weekamp, and Weekamp touchdown right there. Caught the ball on the 7-yard line, but his knee touched down at that point, and the ball is dead at that point. That's where the West will have to take over. Here's a replay as you watch Robinette boot it away. High end over end boot, and here is Weekamp, and there you see it. The knee went down at the same time that he caught the ball, and that's where it will be. It appeared as though that he had plenty of running room there and just was not able to make it happen. And, of course, those are the kind of plays that can really cost you, and it certainly has cost the West here. It's 1st and 10 from their own 7. Haynes, your quarterback. There's the lone back, and there was a handoff that time to Kuhn, and he went right up the middle, but he's just stuffed right away. The guys who made the stop there was Nielsen, number 74, along with Smiley, and big number 86, Dan Schmelsley. Only a gain of 1 that time for Kuhn. The West has really basically kept the ball on the ground here in the second half, and after that opening drive down for the touchdown, have really been thwarted somewhat here on their offensive plays. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the 8-yard line. As Korf and Maxwell are your running backs, they're split this time. Haynes calls the cadence this time. Pitch back here to Korf. Korf around this short side, and Korf is going to be taken out of bounds here by Nielsen and also Smiley again on the stop, and he just couldn't get to the. And so it will set up a 3rd down and 9.
3rd down, 8 yards to go.
Oh, again, as we look at the East defense there's a timeout on the field. Equipment problems.
Official timeout.
As we see one of the East players there getting that fixed. Now back to live action here as Haynes brings the West to the line of scrimmage. Again, the backs are split this time. Kuhn and Maxwell in there. 3rd and 9. Here is Haynes. Drops straight back, wants to pass, and lets it fly straight down the middle of the field. It's caught. And the reception there is made by Jake Dome right down the middle and heads to the outside. He's going to have enough for the 1st and 10. It was a 13-yard pickup there. The guy in defense is McGee. Here's the replay of it as Haynes just makes a nice pass, finds Dome alone there in between the two defenders. And the catch was made on the 21-yard line, so it's going to be enough for a 1st and 10. A 13-yard pickup for the West. As they arrive at the line of scrimmage, here's Korf and Maxwell. Your backs are split. Here's the handoff this time. Oh, no, it's a fake. And Haynes out here on the near side made a nice fake and pulled it out. The quarterback keeper around this near side. So Haynes, with the good job of making the fake, got it to the outside here and was able to pick up some additional yards. He got 4 yards on the carry, brings it out to the 25-yard line. It'll set up a 2nd down and 6 for the West. Korf and Kuhn now are your running backs. as Korf and Maxwell and also Kuhn interchanging. Here is a handoff to Kuhn off that left side, and Kuhn doesn't get much, but very, very short gain of about 2 yards. Smelsley along with Slaughter and number 17 Steve Smith in there to make the stop and really put a stuff on Kuhn. So it was only a pickup of 2, gets it out to the 27-yard line. 3rd down and 4 now for the West. Clock continues to roll here in this third quarter, as it appears that Korf and Kuhn will remain in there as the running backs. Haynes your quarterback, and again they're split this time. Korf here to the near side. In motion goes Korf to the wide side of the field. Haynes this time. Haynes off the pitch out there. So the ball is lost. A fumble on the play, and it's going to be recovered by the East. The guy that made the stick out there, Steve Smith, number 17, made the hit on Korf and caused him to lose the football, but then it was Mitch Scher, number 35, that came up to get the fumble recovery. Here's the replay on it, as you see, and it just hit about the same time the ball got there and couldn't hang on to it. Nevertheless, it is a turnover on the West, and the East will take over deep in West territory on their 26-yard line, on the West 26-yard line. 1st and 10. Labber 2 is your quarterback. Moves up under center. Ivancho is your lone running back. White out there to the near side. Labber 2. Now up the quarterback keeper. Just step back and right up the gut. Takes it inside the 25, down close to the 22-yard line. So it was a pickup that time of 4. The tackle that time made by number 33, Wiecamp. As we take a look at the replay here of Labber 2, just steps back and now breaks a couple of tackles, as you see, getting that extra yardage, just keeping the legs driving and moving and stepping around one guy. But brings up now a 2nd down and 6 as the ball on the 22. The lone back, Ivancho, once again, wide outs to both sides. Labber 2 calls the cadence. Now with the pitch out back there, Ivancho lost the handle, bounced off the turf and got it. But back there to make sure that he stayed down was number 26, Reinerson. But that quick pitch trying to get Ivancho to the corner, and it might have been a little bit
3rd down
behind him there.
6 yards to go.
And just couldn't hang on, but did fall to the ground and recover it. And so it brings up a 3rd down and 8. It was a loss of 2 back to the 24-yard line for the East. As there is a timeout on the field right now. The coaches want to talk it over and see what they want to do here for this next offensive play. Going to look at the crowd here again this afternoon. They're enjoying this 11th annual All-Star football game. Head back to action here, ground level view. Here is a pitch back to the end around. It is Cheney, and Cheney coming out here to the wide side of the field. And he's going to pick up about 3 yards on the carry. Not much there to make the stop was Wines. But that's a different play. We've not seen that play this afternoon. That was the first one time we'd seen that. But the pitch out to Aaron Cheney coming around from his split receiver side off the short side of the field. Here is 4th down and 5 from the 21-yard line. Labber 2 back in the shotgun. Babcock your blocking back. Wide outs both sides. Labber 2 calls a cadence. Wants to try to draw him off sides here, taking a little extra long count. Almost did there at the nose guard position. There's his snap as Labber 2 rolls out this time, fires it downfield, finds Wanzer wide open over there. And Wanzer makes a grab and gets close to the stake, but he may be just a little bit short. We'll wait and see. Looks like he is about a foot and a half short, but it was the tight end Wanzer who made the grab out there. The guy who made the stop was number 55, Juno. And on that run out of downs there, 4th and 5, and the West will take over on their own 21-yard line. So good defensive play there and coming up and stopping the tight end after the reception from Labber 2. 1st and 10 from the West 21-yard line. Haynes back in there at your quarterback, and Korf along with Kuhn in the backfield. In motion is Kuhn coming to the wide side. Whoop, penalty flags flying all over. The Yellow Hankies dropping all around, and it looks like there's going to be an illegal procedure play called on the West squad. That's what we get the indication from the referee, so that will cost them 5 and set them back to their own 16-yard line. We'll set up a 1st and 15 for the West. So they can ill afford to lose any additional yardage like that. That's not the type of play that I'm sure that Coach Amaro had called or what he wanted to see at this time. Maxwell is your running back in there now. In motion again is Kuhn. Here is a handoff to Maxwell. Maxwell bounces off one guy and bounces back into the middle, picks up additional yardage. And I believe they're going to give him maybe one out of that. And he was hit in the backfield and then bounced off that. The guy who made the stop there was McGee, number 23, along with number 21, Eric Slaughter. We've mentioned him a lot this afternoon. But it was a pickup of one out to the 17-yard line, second down and 14. Time is running out here on the third quarter, getting awfully close. We may not get another play off here. We'll wait and see. But it is second down and 14 from the 17-yard line. And again, the East on top, 30-14. Here is the West, possibly one more play. The lone back there is Korf, and there is a fake, and the keeper by Haynes, and Haynes sure isn't going to get much off that right side. He may have got a couple of yards out of it. 74, Nielsen in there on the stop for the East squad. So with that pickup of 2, it sets up a third down and 12 ball out the 19. The West may have time enough for one more play if they can hurry it up out there and get the play in from the sidelines. But time there, we see the play coming in, but we're not sure they're going to have enough time to get it off. They've got to get everybody informed here what the play is going to be, and there is the end of the third quarter with the East in control, 30-14. All right, here we go with the fourth quarter. Haynes, your quarterback. Maxwell, your blocking back. Now Haynes back to pass. He's going to be wrapped up back there and thrown to the turf. It was Brent McGee, number 23, that flew in there from his cornerback position to sack Haynes. There is a penalty flag that flew right there at the conclusion of the play. And it appears that it might be an ineligible receiver downfield. We'll wait for the referee to tell us what it is. If it is, it'll be the loss of down. And yes, it is. So the sack will stand back at the 10-yard line. Loss of 9 on the play, but Brent McGee come flying in there from the left side from his cornerback position, a cornerback blitz, and got a hold of Haynes. He had nowhere to go. Brings up a fourth down and 19 from the 10-yard line. Haynes back to punt from the end zone. 2 blocking back, low snap, and he does get it away. Kind of a low, wobbly type punt. Ivancho takes it right at midfield. Now gets to the sideline out here, back to the 28-yard line. Knocked out of bounds there by number 72, Jason Rossman. He's the big guy out of Otis Bison High School, 6'3", 230-pounder. And again, that 12-yard return will give the East the football on the West 28-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. Again, we see Labertu, and we're probably going to see him for the remainder of the afternoon. We've seen him for 3 complete quarters now here in the fourth quarter, and Labertu will be your quarterback. Also in there will be Bronson Brown as your running back. Just underway here in fourth quarter, about 14:43 to go. Your lone back there is Brown in motion. Now set up on that left side as a wideout. Labertu looks over the defense. Again, Brown back there. Here's the pitch out to Bronson Brown coming to the weak side. Gets to the sideline and gets down inside the 25 to about the 22, possibly the 21. They're going to place it down, though, about the 22-yard line. Or the 23. So it was a pickup of 5 on that play. 2nd down and 5. They do put it down on the 23-yard line. Again, Brown stays in there. Normally, it has been Ivancho that has been the blocking back, but now Bronson Brown in there. Labertu again looks it over. There's a wide out to the wide side. Here's Labertu, pitches out again to Bronson Brown, going to the wide side this time, and Bronson Brown is going to pick up the first down and more, as he picked up some good yardage there, getting it down to the 16, a pickup of 7 that time for Bronson Brown. A young man from Wakefield High School, 5'8", 160 pounds, and just taking 2 straight pitch outs, just 1 to the right, 1 to the left, and picked up enough yardage for the 1st and 10. On the 16-yard line for the East, the tackle was made by Kurt Wiekamp that time, number 33. There we go, 1st down and 10, 2 wideouts here to the wide side. Labertu again with his lone back. That's Bronson Brown again. And again, there's a pitch out again to this right side, to the wide side. Brown down here inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line. Brown with 3 straight rushes, and they've been pitch outs each time, 2 to the right and 1 to the left. And Brown has picked up some good yardage here.
And 2 yards to go.
He's going to be just a yard shy of the first down marker. Again, Kerr Weekamp, the guy on the stop, number 33 from South Gray High School, a 5'7", 170-pound running back and defensive back. Here it is, 2nd down and 1 on the west 7-yard line. Lavertu has the lone blocking back, 2 wide outs to both sides. All right, Lavertu calls a cadence, steps right back, now the little high toss. Oh, it's going to be picked off, intercepted by Corley Haynes. He's up that far sideline all alone, trying to get past. Now steps around one defender there, down inside, deep in East territory, inside the 25. Looks like he stepped out of bounds, though, back outside the 27, approximately the 28-yard line. But Corley Haynes picked off a Lavertu pass. That's the first mistake that he'd made today. And here's a replay of it as you take a look at Lavertu. And there he makes a toss just too high for the intended receiver, Aaron Jenneru. And as you watch, Corley Haynes up that far sideline and sidesteps one tackler, but then caught from behind by Babcock and took it deep into East territory. That's where we are right now on the 28-yard line of the East. West football, 1st and 10. Ike Osborne is back into the ball game now as the quarterback. Maxwell and Kuhn are your running backs. Here's a pitch out, and that goes this time to Maxwell, and Maxwell is just knocked to the turf right there, doesn't go anywhere. Matter of fact, it was a loss on the play. Smith and Schmelsley in there on the stop for the East, as evidently that interception pumped up the defense somewhat. And a loss of 1 there for the West on this golden opportunity. 2nd down and 11 from the 29-yard line. East territory. Osborne again. Kuhn and Maxwell, high formation this time. Osborne, and drops straight back, wants to pass, and lets it fly up there in the flat. It's going to be intercepted as the East now come back with the interception down here in their own territory, and they take the ball right back. The guy who came down with it was Chris Winter, making the interception at the 17-yard line. So the West, after getting the interception, taking it deep into East territory, now makes a mistake of their own, and the East is going to get it back. They'll take over on their 17. 1st and 10 from there. So pretty much error-free up until this point, and then almost 2 back-to-back errors by either ball club. Lavertu will return to quarterback the East squad. We also see Bronson Brown back in there. Assume he'll be the blocking back or possibly the running back. He did see quite a bit of running in that last offensive series before the interception for the East. Bronson Brown again in the backfield. Wide outs here to the wide side of the field, near side. Lavertu calls the cadence. This time, going to hand off to Bronson Brown right up the middle. Bronson Brown getting some running room, and looks like that he's going to pick up some additional yardage there, getting up to the 25, across the 25, about the 25 and a half. It'll be a little bit short of the 1st and 10, but nevertheless, a good pickup that time. Matter of fact, give him a gain of 7 on the play, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 3. The ball is just resting just outside the 25-yard line. Oh, the East keeping it on the ground right now. Lavertu, again Brown back there. 1 wide out here to the near side, the short side of the field. Lavertu again, this time now looks like a broken play. Lavertu with the keeper tries to spin around there. He's not going to get to the 1st down marker, I don't believe. We'll wait and see where they mark it. But it's going to be awfully close. Yes, it is. It is enough for a 1st and 10, a pickup of 3 on the play. And the guys in on the stop was number 24, McDowell, along with Holguin, and also Corley Haynes. So it will be a 1st and 10 for the East on their 28-yard line. Lavertu again keeps Brown back there in that tailback slot position. Here again, and a pitch out to Bronson Brown coming around to the wide side. Brown breaking it loose. Brown all the way down the field on the near side. He may go all the way, but just at the last moment, I think he hit right at the 1 yard line. He did. That's what the referee says. And a saving tackle down there by Corley Haynes, who showed a lot of speed to get back there and make the tackle. Let's take a look at the replay here as Laverty with the pitch out to Brown, and Brown getting out here on the wing. Now you see he run right through 3 defenders there and down that far sideline and caught by Haynes down there. We're going to show you a freeze frame here that he was actually down about the 3 yard line, but he really got a friendly spot out of that just about the 1 foot line. Here is a 1st and goal for the East. At Laverty has the lone back. The wideouts here to the near side. There's Laverty off the quarterback sneak, and touchdown for the East. As Laverty stretches out the big frame and gets across for his 3rd touchdown today. Now the East goes on top, 36-14. And the East has yet to connect on an extra point. We'll see if they can do it here. Laverty will set the East up at the 3 yard line, and they're going to move the line over a little bit from where they normally place the football. Babcock is also back in there. Here's a wide out to both sides, short and the wide side. In motion, Cheney. Here's Laverty in the shotgun. Now loops the ball up there, and penalty flag is thrown. Interference is called on the West squad, as it looked as though that Weems and Matt Hurley, one of them is going to be charged with the penalty of pass interference, so it's going to give the East another opportunity at an extra point try. And they'll place it halfway to the goal line, so that'll put it at the 1.5 yard line. So Laverty and the East All-Stars will have another chance here to try to tack on a couple of more points. We'll see if they can do it for the first time this afternoon. They've had no problem finding the end zone several times, but getting the extra points has been something different. Bronson Brown is back in there at the running back. Wide outs again here to the wide side. All right, Laverty looks it over. Calls the cadence. Now he's going to drop straight back. Wants to pass. Lets it fly down the middle. It's going to be caught at the back of the end zone. Jason Basil comes down with the 2-point conversion here to tack on a couple of more points for the East, and they finally do convert on a PAT. And now the East has taken the lead 38-14 over the West. 38 points. Here is the most points scored by either team in the history of the All-Star Series. So we are looking at a new record here. We could even be looking at a higher score yet here this afternoon. But 38-14, the East on top. And we'll look for the kickoff here in just a moment, as Robinette will be teeing it up, and he'll doing the kicking duties. Back deep for the West is Wiecamp along with Matt Hurley. Those have been the 2 return guys all day long. Well, here we are in the early part of the 4th quarter. And again, the East getting a touchdown and the 2-point conversion. 38-14. Here's Robinette. Boots it away. High end over end boot. Deep down there. And Hurley tried to grab onto it, but it's going to roll out of bounds in the end zone. It'll be touched back. So the ball will be brought out to the 15-yard line. 10:46 remaining in the game. And the West will have the football on their own 15, 1st and 10. We see Ike Osborne return to the lineup. We've mentioned this a couple of 3 different times today about the number that he's wearing, number 66. And he's listed in the program as a safety. But it's highly unlikely to see a quarterback with the number 66. But nevertheless, we have today. Maxwell and Kuhn will be the running backs as they arrive at the line of scrimmage. And there's Osborne up under center. And then the lone back, Osborne, off the quarterback keeper, and he's going to be stuffed there with a loss on the play. A loss of about 2 yards. Big Dan Schmelsley from his defensive left end position got across there and made the stop. Schmelsley at 6'7", 230, Axtell High School graduate. Also a heck of a basketball player. Had to do some of the 1A regional this past spring when Axtell was playing in the 1A regional playoffs. All right, Osborne with the I formation this time. Osborne takes a snap, now drops back, looks, wants to roll out, does roll out to the sideline, makes a pass down the sideline, looks like that it's caught there, and it's not going to be enough. Oh, no, it's intercepted by the East squad right there on the sideline, and they will take over possession deep in West Territory. It looked as though that Zach Plummer had made the grab, but it was taken away by Mitch Shares. They were rolling to the ground. And so the East will take the ball back over deep in West Territory on the 16-yard line. So the East with a golden opportunity here once again to tack on some more points. 1st and 10 for the East. Labertu again in the shotgun this time. Has wideouts here to both sides. Also has the slot back. Now Labertu, and trying to pass out here to Ivancho, but had a bad pass that just slipped out of his hand. So that went for naught. And the incompletion will bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the 16. You know, we've not seen very many mistakes today from Ben Labertu. He's a young man that led Sylvan Grove High School to the state championship this past football season in 1995. So it sets up the 2nd down and 10 from the 16-yard line for the East. And Labertu again in that shotgun, again wideouts to both sides. And here's the pass out here to Cheney. Cheney at the 20, down to the 15. Oh, he's wrapped up right there. And the guy to make the stop was Weens and Haynes. But Weens is the guy that got a hold of him first. Let's take a look at the replay here from the ground level view, and you'll see there's the high snap, and Labertu firing it out there to Cheney, and Cheney just didn't get anywhere. He's wrapped up by Weens right away and got some help from Haynes there, but probably the high snap didn't allow Labertu to get the ball out there quickly enough. Here is 3rd down and 10 from the 16 for the East. And again, it is Perry and Ivancho in there, and now there is a timeout on the field as Labertu and the coaches want to talk it over here, what they want to do on this 3rd down play. And I know that the West much needed timeout there for some rest to their defensive squad. They've been playing a lot of defense here in this quarter. So the East now ready to go again for their 3rd down and 10 from the 16-yard line. Labertu again from that shotgun position. Now, nice snap. Here's the throw downfield, and it's going to be caught by Ivancho. And as you see, Ivancho just stepped in front of Weens, who was waiting for it, thought he was going to have an interception in the end zone. And here's a replay of it as you watch Labertu lay it up there nicely, the timing pattern. There you see Ivancho just jumping a little bit higher than Weens and coming down with it in the end zone for the touchdown. So now the East squad goes on top 44-14 over the West. So the East now will go for the PAT, and they were successful the last time in getting a couple of extra points. And that was the first time on the afternoon that they had been successful with an extra point try. But it took 2 of those because there was a penalty, initial penalty, before that one. But here we go with this extra point try. Labertu, Bronson Brown. Here's the pitch out to Brown. Brown trying to get to the end zone, and he got through there. And does get the score. So now 46-14, and that one was a lot simpler. Here's a replay on it. The pitch out to Brown. He gets to the 5 and then just dashes into the end zone and gets the extra 2 points for the East as they are on top now 46-14 with 9 minutes to go in this 11th annual All-Star game. The East really has rolled here today, and especially here in the second half. But David Robinette will be teeing it up here in just the next few moments. And, of course, back deep to receive for the West will be Hurley, along with Korf and Wiecamp. Here's Robinette, puts the toe in it, and here's a short end over end punt. There is taken by Korf at the 11-yard line. Korf trying to go back up the middle now, dashes to the outside, and he's being drug out here to the near side, knocked down at the 26. And it was Davin Doonan along with Mitch Scher, the guys there that brought him down. So the West will set up shop for another offensive series right there at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10. That was a 15-yard return by Korf.
4-yard line.
And that's been the first time this afternoon that he's had an opportunity for a run back. Well, 1st and 10 for the West here on the 26. Osborne again coming into the ball game now and bringing the play in from the sideline as he will translate that to the West squad and see what will happen here on this 1st down and 10 on this offensive series. Kuhn and Maxwell are your run.